Hello, my name's Jay Linehan. I am the President and CEO of the Greater Lowell Community Foundation. The power of giving is such an amazing thing, and anybody who's not given needs to give to experience that. The people we serve are in the community that I live in. Been born and raised in the city of Lowell, and so not only working in the area that you live, but impacting the area that you live is very rewarding.
We were able to open a much-needed food pantry in the Acre neighborhood. Since opening in late summer 2021, the number of our food pantry clients served has more than doubled every single month.
Oftentimes I get asked the question, what does the Greater Lowell Community Foundation do? Philanthropy is fundamentally civic engagement. It's about doing the little things in your community, helping people out in little ways, little acts of kindness. And they build up, and they form a network, and they form a coalition, and people gather around that. We do lots of good in the community where we get resources out to many nonprofits that are address many, many issues such as food insecurity and homelessness and mental health. In particular, over the COVID period, the needs were not new, but much greater than they had been in the past. And we had the ability to curate and deliver approximately $7 million out into the community that we serve, getting critical resources to the nonprofits that do amazing work every single day. It's grassroots philanthropy at its best.
It's helped my city so much through this troubling times with COVID-19. For example, it's helped Aaron's Presence with their COVID relief fund, and it helped me just complete my project today. Today we cooked food for homeless people in Lowell, as COVID has made millions of people all around the country slip into poverty and made the food insecurity a bigger issue than it already was.
During the height of the COVID pandemic, GLCF support allowed us to purchase critical PPE and testing kits for our staff.
We've never, ever had to navigate anything like this before, so we are so grateful to our friends at the Greater Lowell Community Foundation for everything that they have been doing.
Thank you to the Greater Lowell Community Foundation for supporting us through these difficult times.
The pandemic came on the Greater Lowell Community Foundation in a similar way that it came on everybody, suddenly. The first thing we started to do was just look around at the nonprofits that do the work on the ground, interacting with people the most, and how do we help them? We had grants going out the door, not that folks asked for, but we reached out to them saying, can we help you? For $1,000, $2,000, $2,500. Checks were literally being delivered overnight, hand delivered to the door. And that was the beginning. That was the first couple months.
Your generosity is enabling us to give beds to children in need who would otherwise be sleeping on the floor without the service that we can give because of your generosity.
Greater Lowell Community Foundation is always been there for us. They donated some commercial freezers and fridges, which is making everything happen here. We have to stock all the nutritious vegetables and meat which we get from our donors. Even in this time of pandemic, Greater Lowell Foundation is stepped up and make sure all what we needed was taken care of.
There's a number of scholarship programs at the Greater Lowell Community Foundation. The longest running one is the one with Lowell High School. Lowell High School established that fund with us some 24 years ago. Lowell High School was running the program themselves. There was a bunch of different funds over there, and they moved all the money over here and then raised a lot more money. Scholarships that totaled close to $375,000 for like 250 or more individuals. And the grants run from $500 to several $1,000s. And I was once having a discussion with somebody, they're going, why do you do all that? $500 isn't enough to go to college. What's the point? And I said to that person, I said, you clearly don't get it. I said, the $500 is oftentimes the first recognition of that individual that they have the ability to go to college, that they have earned that $500. And You can never take step 2, 3, and 4 unless you take step 1. And this is step 1.
The Greater Lowell Community Foundation in its 25 years has supported a whole lot of work here at the Discovery Museum. It started with support for our work with the Acre Family Daycare Center, resulted in thousands of school children and traveling science workshops being delivered to kids from Lowell, supported us during the pandemic, and is now supporting our work getting kids and families outdoors in nature.
There are many people in our community that wonder where they're going to sleep at night and whether they're not going to have food on their table at night. Over the last 6.5 years as I've been at the Greater Lowell Community Foundation, there has been, story after story that have impacted me. And data is important, but I think the anecdotal stories sometimes tell the story better than the data does. It was at the beginning of 2016 when I first arrived, and there was the group Veterans Assisting Veterans that was looking to assist a disabled veteran, and he needed a wheelchair. He needed a mobilized wheelchair, and he couldn't get one. He couldn't afford one. And so through a few things that came together, Veterans Assisting Veterans and a donor that I've dealt with here, there was an event that was put together, and that young man showed up and was given an electric wheelchair. And not only just an electric wheelchair, but this electric wheelchair would go up and down stairs. You could take it to the beach, you could go out in the woods, and he was a very active person, and that gave him the ability to continue to be active. This gentleman was called to the stage, and the room had a couple, 300 people in it, and the room parted, and he came through the middle in the wheelchair. His mom and dad were there. They knew what was going on, but he did not. And he came to the stage, and he was given this wheelchair.
Community Teamwork and Youth Services are so thankful for your unwavering support and generosity. You have helped us grow and be part of this community, to reach those in need, and believed in our work every step of the way.
You've been a true partner to Community Teamwork, and for that we are grateful. With your passion and presence, you are a pillar in this community that goes unmatched.
The needs 25 years ago are different than the needs today. The needs 25 years from now will likewise be different. But the needs will still be there. And the task for the Community Foundation, as we have done and will continue to do, is what are those needs? How do we assess those, and how do we prioritize those? How do you allocate scarce resources in the community? And just importantly, how do you get additional resources from your community to reallocate back into the same community from whence they came? Again, it's all about being very, very local, boots on the ground, doing the work in philanthropy to make the neighborhoods we live in better places.
We are committed to growing food for hunger relief in a way that is sustainable and holistic. And we're only able to do this because we have the support of very generous funders like the Greater Lowell Community Foundation. And the foundation itself is focused on building communities that are equitable, healthy, and resilient.
People just conclude that philanthropy isn't something they can do, because I think they think it's a big word, and that's beyond my reach, because they think that it takes great wealth to participate in philanthropy. And my perspective is that's not the case at all. Part of our goal and mission is to inform local people about the impact they can have in their community by participating in lots of different ways. We have volunteers that do certain things. We have people that assist us with grants, assist us with scholarships and reviewing them. I think everybody would like to see their community be better than it is today. And everybody has the ability to do that in lots of different ways. And all they need to do is look around and say, well, what can I do? And sure, it can be money, it can be donating to something, but it could be your time, it could be your talent, two things that everybody has that they can appropriate in a way to help somebody else that needs that time or that talent. Philanthropy is for everybody.